Metallica and Lou Reed, Elton John and Eminem, Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus. Those are weird musical pairings you know about. But here's one you might not. Frank Zappa and Black Sabbath. In June 1975, Frank Zappa picked Black Sabbath's Supernaut as his favorite song of the moment, beating out Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. He said at the time, "I like it, I think it's prototypical of a certain musical style, and I think it's well done. Also, I like the guitar lick that's being played in the background." A couple of years later, Zappa had a new favorite song. He told Hugh Fielder, "Are you kidding me? Iron Man? That's a work of art. I used to like Supernaut, but I think Iron Man is the one now." But in the mid-70s, Zappa's favorite track was Supernaut, and Sabbath benefited from Zappa's enthusiasm. Sabbath's bassist and lyricist Geezer Butler, a Zappa fanatic who says his musical life completely changed when he first heard Zappa's Mothers of Inventions at the age of 15, and credits Zappa's endorsement of Supernaut with changing critics' attitudes towards the band. Zappa said it was the best riff he'd ever heard. A lot of critics started to reconsider Sabbath. The feeling was, well, if Zappa likes Black Sabbath, maybe we should give them another listen. Prior to this, in 1974, Zappa had invited Sabbath members to dinner. Ozzy recounted the meeting.
Frank Zappa, who was a very techno guy, invited us to a restaurant once where he was having a party. He said, "The song Supernaut is my favourite track of all time." I couldn't believe it. I thought, this guy's taking the piss. There's got to be a camera here somewhere. All of us looked up to Zappa, especially Geezer. Because he seemed like he was from another planet. At the time, he just released this quadraphonic album called Apostrophe, which he had a track on it called Don't Eat the Earth Snow. Fucking classic.
In November 1976, Zappa invited Ozzy and Geezer to his third annual Thanksgiving dinner. Kerry Baker of Triad Magazine who picks up the story. The telephone rang in Zappa's room. "Hey, I got a news flash for you. Last night at the third annual Thanksgiving banquet, I saw Ozzy and Geezer from Black Sabbath. We had a great time and discussed the possibilities of teaming up at Madison Square Garden." Of course it sounds absurd. We thought it would be real funny if I got up there for their encore and did Paranoid and Iron Man. I was planning to attend their show after ours tonight, because I've never been to their kind of concert. They're at the Hyatt House in town. See if you can't set something up. Meanwhile, Zappa told Baker why he likes Sabbath. Black Sabbath moves people, he said. They're in the same boat as Grand Funk in terms of what critics say about them. But critics' bands like Aerosmith just don't compare to Black Sabbath. I prefer their modality. Black Sabbath is the archetype of that style, the hardcore. On December 6, 1976, the night Zappa and Sabbath were supposed to play together, Sabbath and opening act Ted Nugent had sold out Madison Square Garden with 20,000 fans in attendance. Zappa told Hugh Riderfield what happened next. "I was going to jam with them, and they were supposed to call me up and tell me what time their sound check was. But I guess I didn't have one. So I went down there to the show, and they said, 'What are you going to play?' And they had set up a mini wall of Marshalls for me, and I said, shit, I'm not going to go out there without knowing what it's going to sound like. So I just watched the show. What happened was, Tony Iommi had some trouble with his guitar and decided to change his strings at the last minute. The audience had already been sitting there waiting for an hour or so since Ted Nugent, and they wanted me to go out there and make an announcement and calm them down. So I did.
The members of the Rocking Teenage Combo, known to the universe as Black Sabbath, are currently in the dressing room. They're having a little bit of a problem. You see, the tension has mounted up and will continue to mount up. And they broke some strings or something, and they're going to be a couple of minutes late getting out here. So, you just be patient a couple more minutes. They'll be with you, and let's go. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Black.
I just sat there and marveled at it. I think it's great, especially in a place like Madison Square Garden with 20,000 people grunting, wheezing, and shoving each other. I only recalled the night a bit differently. Frank was introducing the band and he wanted to play. So we put his stuff up on stage, but we were really having a bad night. Frank was waiting to walk on and I thought, he can't. It's disastrous. Everything is going wrong. My guitar is going out of tune, there's noise, crackles, and God knows what. So I said to him, it would be best if you don't play, really. Sadly for us, Zappa only enjoyed the show from the sidelines rather than on stage. And now, some 45 years later, we can only dream of what might have happened the night Zappa was supposed to play with Black Sabbath.
Great googly moogly.